How are you today? Today we're going to discuss the acceptable fillet welds profiles. This is a continuation of lesson 2 for fillet weld profiles. So in here we have the profiles for fillet weld. You have the actual truth, fictive truth, theoretical truth, the joint truth, heat affected zone, the leg, the weld root, the face, and the two. So just trace up the arrow where it points, and that's the name of this profile. So we will individually discuss these parts of the fillet weld profiles. Number one there is the weld root. Is the area where the filler metal intersects the base metal opposite the face. So we can locate the weld root here. That's the weld root. Okay. Another is the weld face. Weld face is the exposed surface of a weld, bounded by the weld toes of the side in which welding was done. So the weld face of a fillet weld may be concave or convex. So this area is the weld face. So take note, it could be concave, just like a cave, and convex. The third one is the weld 2. Weld 2 is the intersection of the base metal and the weld face. It is the point at which the weld face meets the base metal. So here you have the toe in this part, and this one part is the weld 2. So please take note, the base metal is on the horizontal, is the base metal. Next is the fillet weld leg. Fillet weld leg is the distance from the joint root. Where is the joint root? Here to the weld 2. So from here to this point and to this point. So that's the leg. So joint root is the part of the joint to be welded where the members are closest to each other. So when we talk about members, this is now the two plates that you're going to weld. The part 1, member 1, member A, or member, and member B. So the other thing is the fillet weld truth may refer to the actual truth, effective truth, or theoretical truth. So it's the fillet weld truth. So the profile of a completed weld could have considerable effect for the performance of the weld operation. So that's why you need to be acquainted with the profile. It is the welding inspector's function to distinguish these discontinuities by way of visual inspection and quite often to evaluate the acceptance or negativity. So the inspector will observe the discontinuities of the profiles. In here we have the desirable fillet weld profiles. As you see, you have here the dimension, the sizes of the weld leg. That's the leg. And you notice there is a right triangle with the dust lines, and that's the safe zone that you will not exceed, in your weld. So that's where the desirable fillet weld is. So here you have the size of the fillet weld, and letter C is the convexity of the fillet weld. So from the two and the weld face, that's the distance, what we mean by convexity, letter C. So here you have the desirable fillet weld profiles continuation. Again, you have the convexity C and the width, So you notice there is a little bit not totally undercut, but it's almost undercut, but still it's acceptable. And this size, there is a little bit undercut on the convex, but still it's within the boundary of this right angle. So this is the explanation diagram that explains about the convexity C of a weld or individual surface bead with a dimension stands bead W shall not exceed the values of the following table. So you have here the width, the dimension is not greater than 5/16 inches, so that's equivalent to 8 mm. And the width is lesser than 5/16 inches to width, and the width is not greater than 1 inch or 25 mm. So here width is not less than 1 inch. Okay. So maximum convexity stands with letter C, and with this there's a corresponding equivalence of the convexity there. Okay. If we have acceptable weld profiles, we have also unacceptable weld profiles, in which you need to repeat your work when your profiles look like this. So here in the left side, we have the insufficient truth, and here the excessive convexity. So right here, if you try to see, it's the boundary of the right angle, the dust right angle. So there is a undercut in between, so it's insufficient truth. You have very excessive convexity, in which there is an excessive convexity, the C, and there is also partly undercut on the end, upper end. Another acceptable weld profiles, the excessive undercut, in which there is an undercut on the part B. Okay, so this thing here, and the other one is the overlap. There's an overlap right on the base metal. Okay, another acceptable and unacceptable weld profiles, the insufficient leg right here, and the other part is not enough on short with the triangle, dust triangle, the boundary of the insufficient leg, in this area and this area. And here the incomplete fusion, the joining of two parts, the base metal and the vertical one, and there is in this part the incomplete fusion. Proceed. So we have here the summary of those unacceptable weld profiles: insufficient truth, excessive convexity, excessive undercut, overlap, insufficient leg, and incomplete fusion. So can you still name the parts of the fillet weld? So in this part here, the weld root, this is part is the truth, the convexity, the face, and we have here the two, and we have here the weld leg. Okay, so I hope you learned something. To wrap up, the profile of a completed weld could have considerable effect for the performance of the weld operation. That's why we need to study the profile of the weld. So looking at the weld profiles will determine if your weld reaches the minimum strength required for the job. So it must have a minimum strength. Hence, profiles is important to determine and basis for your finish weld. Okay, so I hope that's all. You learned something, and a skilled person will rise among others. Proverbs 22:29. Thank you and God bless. Bye bye.